wanted to say, I was just looking through the internet and, looking for like the GDP of Russia, and apparently they estimate that their GDP is about 4%. So the sanctions and the embargo is not working as well as I guess it was planned.
You mean the GDP is up 4% year over year?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that may reflect the war economy. Wartime economies tend to goose GDP substantially. It certainly happened here in the 40s.
Yep. And then also they're selling a lot of oil and gas to China and India.
Yep.
So I don't know, what really that matters in that, I think their economy is probably a mess anyway. It was probably a mess beforehand. Trump is really destroying our alliances with the Europeans, and this is going to, have such a, it's really going to damage our reputation around the world. And I think that what's going to happen with, cutting off USAID is that China will step in and take on some of these costs.
They've already picked up one country. Forgive me, I forget which one it is. But already we've had one country officially say, okay, no more US aid, we're going to go with China.
Yeah.
There's going to be 20 or 30 more.
Right, and they're putting infrastructure in, and so we're going to be left in the, a very alone, a big banana republic, basically.
Yeah. Trump is damaging the United States. He's damaging our influence. He's damaging our power. And he's doing it because, I believe, because Vladimir Putin told him to and told him how to do it. He is running Putin's playbook for America.
Yeah. I have some knowledge, but I can't really say because it can't be verified. I talked it over with your screener, but apparently somebody told me who is part of the Russian-American community that Putin was part of the delegation in New York, to the United Nations. He was in the consulate and knew Trump from their association with a really seedy but very powerful club called Le Club, not very imaginative, but anyway, all the mafios and other people used to go there. I know that's just speculation. I hope I'm not going to get anybody in trouble.
No, that's you can speculate as long as it's clearly identified as such.
Yeah. But it makes sense in a way. I mean, he did, even the last time, he just seemed to fawn over Putin.
Yeah, he's either afraid of Putin or he's in love with Putin. I don't see anything other than one of those two things, or maybe both. I mean, sometimes these strong men are actually very submissive men deep down inside, and he's,
Well, they learn from each other, and it's been going on for quite a while, except that it's not been given the power now, with a lot of people voting for him. And it really, irritates me that these so-called Christians vote for a person who had such such horrible, connections with some of the worst people. I grew up in New York, some of the worst crime families, and also that's who built Trump Tower. Was a mafia
Genovese family concrete, wasn't it?
Yep, and then also the union was corrupted.
Yeah.
And you mentioned you read from a book about the FBI and Hoover. Well, I think that there was a direct connection between the mafia and Hoover, and he really allowed it to grow to the point where the Kennedy brothers, they wanted to go after it. I think that led to their demise, really, and it makes so much sense to me, considering. But they ran everything. They corrupted everything. people paid for that. We paid when you lived there. You know, if you had a business, you had to pay. Literally, this happened to people I know. You had to pay them protection money, and you couldn't go to anybody because the police were also on the tape.
You're talking the New York mob.
Yes, yeah, and you know that's why that New York City went bankrupt too. It was a good portion of it was because of that. So anyway, I just wanted to bring that out, and it's beyond me that the media did such a poor job in not bringing that history